do you think it smells like?
Chocolate. I would say chocolate.
It smells really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me see. So tell me a little bit about who you are and how long you've been working here.
So we're like homegrown.
Yeah.
So I was actually born about 200 feet from here.
Oh my God.
House right across the driveway.
With an orchid in his mouth.
I know, right? Until I was 11 years old, we actually lived right here at the shop.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool, like growing up playing here.
Were you like one of those kids who were like, I'm not ever going to be around orchids, or did you love it?
No, I was into plants all the time.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Interested, but probably wouldn't have picked it as a career if I had my choice.
Yeah.
But
if you had a choice, did you say?
Yeah, exactly.
You had no choice.
Yeah, I actually did. I did.
It was destiny.
I guess I was probably in my 20s before I realized I actually really liked it. There's all aspects of orchid growing, especially commercially. There's all things we can do.
Yeah.
And we can build a hobby. We can collect. We can do just sales. We can do just social media. There's all kinds of avenues, and any of them are good.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of like, what do you want to do?
So you have to pick your lane, or did you say I want to? Because like there's a point where you want to expand, and then what do you do?
I dabble in everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Now I got your names just so for folks for reference. When we did the Longwood Orchid tour.
Okay, cool.
Greg, who had worked there, who's now moved on to a different position.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, you should see Waldor Orchids, and
He's
this was like 2 or 3 years. I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so we've now just got to you because we were like coming up through your way. So I'm glad you could. Even though this is like he's going to remind us throughout this whole time, it's not the best time to see orchids.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So, wow. So let's go start from the beginning, I guess.
Yeah.
So we actually started next door from here. 3 acres under glass was my granddad's business. So my great-grandfather had a hotel in Atlantic City, the Brighton Hotel. It was on Brighton Avenue. And also he was city commissioner in Atlantic City. He operated the Strand Hotel in Atlantic City.
Man, cool.
My grandfather did not want to be in the hotel business. He wanted to grow plants. He's a plant guy. So he's like, I don't want to do this. So they bought this property so that he could grow flowers for the hotel.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was basically how we
and he had an
here.
he had an easy in then, because he had somebody to sell it to.
Exactly. You're growing your own product, which was actually a good idea. I think.
Right, absolutely.
But he was definitely into plants.
Especially for hotels. You always see orchids on display, and they probably kill them and they need to move.
We're talking early 1900s here.
Crazy.
You wouldn't have seen orchids.
Okay.
Really, information was tough back then on how to grow them. I mean, a lot of people were importing them, but most of what was imported was killed because they had no idea how to grow it.
And it was probably not all Phalaenopsis at that time,
No,
so
mostly imported from South America, corsage orchids, like the old Cattleya flowers and stuff. We'll see a bunch of them in the greenhouse.
The big corsage ones,
Yeah, but that's what pretty much everybody grew. But the thing was with that is that they were growing them in hothouses that was like way too hot, way too wet. And we actually grow sort of dry here. We actually tell people that we grow dry on purpose. So,
and sometimes I feel like with the reblooming, at least with the Phalaenopsis, they need a little bit of cold sometimes, I feel, like up against the...
I should know what you're talking about.
Up against a window or something, and then you like get a rebloom,
Most people forget that part. They just think just flowers from every year, and they sort of get lucky because you get that little bit of drop in temperature, but you can really encourage it.
Yeah, interesting. So what are you doing here now? I know there's some folks working in the back.
Yeah, so this building we're actually in is actually even part of our history. This is actually an old cow barn. 2 blocks down is Dairy Lane. My grandfather actually had a dairy down there. And it would supply milk to Abbott's Dairy and all of which are like famous old dairies here in the area.
There's something so nice about having that rich history.
Yeah.
You wanted to lean into that as opposed to run away from it because it's so rare nowadays. Even though it was like an old dairy farm and then this is taken on a new shape.
Do you think that's coming back around though?
I do think that is.
I think probably for a lot of years it probably wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
And now people want that history. They want that sort of like old school look, but with a newer aspect of it.
And because now it's so rare and it is coming back around, I think there's like the element of, I was going to do what my father did and my grandfather did or all that other kind of stuff. But the fact that it like morphs and changes, over time too is okay. Yeah. And then it moves with the changing times. But the fact that you have some of that legacy and you have that in your head is like really interesting. Yeah.
Well, we've been redoing like a lot of our property, like just renovating and things. And we always have that line, how much do we keep the old way? How much do we sort of update a little bit?
Right.
So we want people to walk in and still feel like, it's the same old place, but also make it look a little more modern. And it's hard to walk that line.
It is really interesting because we were just at Berkshire Botanic Gardens and they have a lot of like rustic places. Like this feels charming. You walk in this and you feel and you're like, oh, this is charming. It feels very human. It feels very tactile. And Berkshire had a lot of that, and they're like, oh, well, we're getting rid of all that. It's going to be very modern now. And a lot of our commenters were like, that's so sad, you know. And I think there is that like this fine line to toe, as you had mentioned.
For sure. Yeah. So these tables are actually built specifically. See how it feels a little low? You sort of reach for it.
It's a little low, yeah.
The reason is these are cut flower packing tables.
Okay.
So you would have a box about 6 or 8 inches deep,
right,
and you're actually putting flowers in the box. If it was up here, you'd actually would have to stand with your arms raised, and this is hours and hours and hours of packing. So we would actually want to have it lower. So these tables are specifically built just for packing flowers.
Right.
With storage underneath was all for like the trays. We had roll-out bins for the shredded wax and all that sort of thing. That was a walk-in refrigerator just for cut flowers. Now that's our shipping room.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun because it's like something different now.
Yeah.
So we even use our old part of our building for the newer things that we're doing.
These were for screws, and now they're for seeds.
It's actually labels.
Labels,
so
okay.
most people that they're doing like large Maryland runs, you're talking some of the places doing millions and millions of plants.
Yeah.
If it's a few cents a label, that's expensive. So what we do is they come in, we know what it is based on just looking at the flower, keep a tag in here, we put our own tag on it, that way everything has a name going out of here. That's part of what
impressive.
we do. We're trying to keep it neat. A couple of things in the front room, interesting. Almost all these big photographs here are Philadelphia Flower Show.
Really? Wow.
So we're one of the oldest exhibitors in the flower show. In fact, we could say we are. This year, if we do the display in 2026, it'll be our 77th year.
So who designs it now, year over year?
So that's the thing, is actually it's passed down from my granddad. Started it, and then he actually learned through Pennock Floral. He worked for them when he first started. Then taught my dad taught me, and here we are.
So now you're the one who's taking the reins.
Yeah, so
That's
I've been
cool.
Helping him with the flower show for over 30 years. Actually, at the flower show. First you're just working there, but you learn through osmosis, and now here we are. So like I already am working on the design for next year, but basically I'll design it. A lot of times I'm building props and all that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun. We're doing, I think, 800, maybe 1,000 square foot this year. I'm pushing actually for a little bit more space. So we may be up to 1,000 square feet.
Now, do you have another generation that's coming up behind you?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, my nephew's maybe here somewhere.
Okay.
So my sister's son. I always think it's funny because my father, I always say, my father and my dad had 12 children between the two of them. We have 4 of us working here.
Oh my goodness.
So we say it's a low germination rate. And I guess it's whether or not, like, you know, even people like...
He had to sow a lot of seed in order to even get that germination rate.
Right. And the thing with orchids is funny, and we can show you seed pods somewhere around. I'm sure we're going to have one. But orchid seed is like really, really small. Like it's almost like talcum powder. Yeah. And we always tell people, like, why do you think it's that way right away? And because it's low germination rate. So you have to have just the right conditions. So same idea.
You're calling his dad's seed very low.
I don't know. Apparently not. We had 7 kids in the family.
There you go.
But yeah, so a couple interesting things. We do display, flower show displays. I mean, all the kind of trophy stuff.
Yeah.
We had a plant won 2 national awards just last year.
That's cool. It's like it looks like chartreuse, but it might be yellow.
That plant is incredible.
Yeah.
So there's probably a few thousand flowers on it, and the plant's only this big around.
It looks like the one that has that red wheat flower. What is it called? Red wheat.
If you're talking about anything other than orchids, I don't know what you're talking about.
But it is Dendrochilum wenzelii.
Yeah.
But it looks like it has a flower, but it's just because maybe it's small.
On this one. It's very similar to that, where this one will cascade, and wenzelii sort of goes out on a horizontal angle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You pulled Dendrochilum wenzelii out. That's pretty awesome. I wouldn't have expected it.
I'm not an orchid person, honestly, like to be perfectly frank. So the things that I pick up are things that I pick up along the way. Although I did buy the Dendrochilum because I like the fact that it was...
the plant's pretty too. It's like grassy foliage.
The grassy foliage is what I really like, and it's very erect. And then also the flower is understated, you know, compared to like, Phalaenopsis or another one that's really big.
Sure.
So
packing shed up front. This is a potting area. So you always want to have potting areas sort of centrally located so that you can go off into each greenhouse. So that way, if you have to get access to the greenhouse, you're not walking to the other end of the property. They build in this 600-gallon tank under here. We use it for fertilizer.
Oh,
so we actually
cool.
mix our own feed and then pump it to the greenhouse, kind of an old thing. Some of the old school stuff too, these are trenches. our heating system here is original to the place. We're actually looking at replacing it this year, but it's almost 70 years old.
Is it underground?
So it runs under the benches, but then the return that goes back to the boiler is gravity fed through these trenches.
Wow.
So it's just really kind of cool to see something antiquated like that.
That's for
still
70
running.
years old, but
Yeah.
now you're gonna, so what do you think you're gonna do? What do you think, how
We're
are you
looking
gonna
to go into hot water instead of steam. That's
that makes sense.
the main change.
Yeah.
And the reason is that we have well water here, and steam's corrosive and really expensive to fix. So.
Yeah. And is everything well watered, or is
we
it,
do well water
do you have an
here.
RO? Okay.
Well, we actually say water, South Jersey.
Water.
That's very important.
Water. Okay, I gotta be.
So
I gotta
we did
be
a
local.
show in Texas, and I think we took about 10 plants. We won 5 best ofs at the show.
Yeah.
And this is like, we're the first time ever going to Texas, right?
And
People are like,
hate you.
well, what are you guys doing? And we're like, what do you fertilize with? And we're like, really nothing. I said, we have water. And they're like, well, what's that? And
They're like, what is that?
Yeah.
You're
So,
like dihydrogen oxide.
right, exactly. So you've heard of like Peter's Fertilizer, right?
Yeah.
So they have a thing where you can get send them a sample and they'll analyze your water and then recommend a specific fertilizer just for your water quality. So I send them a sample, I get this thing back and I'm like, I don't know how to read this. So I send it to a buddy who's like an expert in water. He looks at it, he's like, dude, you got rainwater.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, that's all I need to know.
You got a lot of minerals.
Right, I don't need to fix anything that way. So we're actually really fortunate, but then
He's
at the same
really
time,
drinking fertilizer.
Probably, a low dose.
Yeah.
But the thing that's interesting then is that when people come in here and they're struggling with their water quality, really can't help them.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any experience in that. And that's a big part of like growing orchids is your water
Right.
quality. If your water quality is good, so much easier.
Right.
So really the main things with orchids, sunlight and water. That's it. Not fertilizer, not humidity. Don't worry about any of those things. Sunlight and
Interesting.
water, that's the 2 things.
So, with each of these greenhouses that we see, are they in different climate zones?
A little bit.
Okay.
Pretty much this time of the year, we're all passive cooling. So we have a ridge vent, 2 side vents, and all the air movement you feel here, we're right on the bay. I don't know if you noticed, but
Feels really nice.
Yeah,
Actually, it's very comfortable
today
in here.
it is.
Today. Well, I'm glad we were here today because
we did
otherwise,
get hot earlier this year. We were over 100 degrees in some
I
of the
know
greenhouses.
you had a big heat spike.
Yeah, and that's really bad. Like we're okay to 90, above 90, the plants aren't too happy. Above
Right.
100, you start to have problems.
Especially because you're in a greenhouse, and so it is even probably warmer than that.
That was the temperature in the greenhouse.
Oh, okay.
Now the problem with it is air movement. As long as you keep the air moving enough, you're okay. But we're all passive here, so we did run into a few problems back a month or so ago with some heat damage.
And how old is the greenhouse?
So the original greenhouses were built in 1946, but then they were redone in the early 50s. These are actually what they call Lord and Burnham greenhouses. I don't know if you recognize that name. It's like a famous name.
Yeah, I think I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Are they out of the UK though?
They used to be.
Yes. Okay. I'm familiar
now
with that.
the guy, actually, Arcadia Glass House now owns all the rights to the manufacturing parts and all that.
Okay.
But they're all aluminum and glass, so they're meant really to last forever.
Yeah,
so
that's
there's
great.
nothing really can go bad with them. So.
By the way, this is a really pretty color. It's like a sunset. It's shiny too. Look at all the sparkles on it.
Yeah,
You see
they'll
the
call it like a
sparkles?
diamond dust texture. Huh. Yeah, you get that in a lot of orchids.
What is that one,
It's a
actually?
mini cat. It's a hybrid actually by a friend out in California.
God, look at that little sparkly.
Cool thing about that too is it'll stay that size. It's a miniature cattleya, so only a couple inches tall.
It's stubby.
Yeah, we have orchids anywhere from an inch tall to
Yeah.
I have one in the back I can show you that when it flowers is over 7 feet.
Oh, wow.
That's our tallest one,
Yeah.
and that's tallest by far. Like the
Yeah.
next tallest one is a couple feet shorter than that.
Huh.
So it's kind of a one-off that you get a plant that tall. It's not typical.
Yeah.
So this is mainly like a selling area here. We'll put like blooming plants underneath and on top of the benches. This is one of our selling houses.
And you got stuff other than orchids as well.
Well,
just
a
because
little bit.
They're more like companion plants, or because
Most of it-
you like them.
So it comes down to 2 different things. So Philly Flower Show, we always do a tropical display.
Right.
So we end up with tropical leftover plants, and we grow some of them on.
Okay.
The other thing was the aeroids. We have a couple of friends that they may live in an apartment like in New York or something like
Yeah.
that, and they want to grow aeroids, but they
Right.
struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're a depository for them. So they'll take an extra piece of their plant,
Okay.
put it here, and then if something happens to theirs, they have a backup piece. And in the meantime, as we propagate it, we're able to sell any pieces we sell.
Oh,
from
okay.
it.
All right,
So
like
it's
a
a good thing
safety.
for both of us. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like you'll see all kinds of things. Oh,
Yeah,
I'll show
look
you
at
this.
this, some
So
Viviums.
you said dendrochilum.
Yeah,
This
dendrochilum,
is
yeah.
magnum. So the biggest flower, obviously.
That is a nice.
Neat thing is with this one is that when it first comes out, the stems
chain.
are very straight. Then they hang down.
Gosh, it almost
and
looks
then
like a peperomia bloom from far away, doesn't it?
Yeah, or like an anthurium or something
Yeah.
like that. But as it develops, then the stem will corkscrew down. Yeah, so the stems are really interesting. As that'll grow, it'll even continue to corkscrew even more and turn almost a gold color by the time it's finished.
It's pretty. It's like I love
Crazy
how.
thing about this too is I've seen plants of this 3 feet around.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
it gets to be an enormous plant, but
Yeah.
super cool. The crazy thing about that too is these within a week to 10 days went from stems this tall to this. it's really, really fast when it happens. You have to keep a close eye on it, or you totally miss it.
Now, you are providing, obviously, plants to Longwood and their displays, but are you open to retail, or how do you work?
Yeah, so we try to do everything.
Yeah.
And that's one of the keys. So people like wonder, how have you been in business so long?
Yeah.
We keep changing. So initially, we're supplying a hotel. Then we go to cut flower industry, so it's all just cut flowers. Then we transition into what we call pot plant sales, so selling potted plants. And now it's internet sales, potted plants, shows, online, supplies, anything you could do to sell a plant. We try to do everything.
Okay.
And it seems to work that way.
Yeah.
But as far as being open, we're open just Friday and Saturday, pretty much all year round unless it's a major holiday. But Friday, Saturday, 10 to 4. That's where we're open for a walk-in.
And they're in Linwood, New Jersey.
Linwood, New Jersey. Yeah, right near Atlantic City, Ocean City, the good part of New Jersey. We always actually point out South Jersey. I don't know if you guys are from North Jersey.
No,
sorry.
we're not even from Jersey.
New York, sorry.
No, I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no worries. We always got to joke about that. But we always say
he's
South
from the
Jersey.
Netherlands, so he comes from another plant lineage down there.
But yeah, we always say South Jersey, and it's kind of funny because it's like a completely different area.
Connotation. Yeah,
and even here, you just drive 10, 15 minutes inland. It's farmland.
Yeah.
So it's really
no
completely different
offense to
area.
the other people who live in New Jersey.
It's
You're
okay.
free to come here. He won't.
Well, we will poke humor at you, but it's all in good fun, and we love you guys. But you can see kind of a mixture of things. Summertime, that's a rare cymbidium. It's going to flower in the summertime. Normally these are winter blooming, but this is one of the species that flowers in the summertime.
Light pink color.
I think it's actually fragrant too. Normally the summer species are.
It has like a little bit of a musky powder kind of smell.
So we'll call it odoriferous instead of fragrant.
Yeah, maybe try it. I don't know. My nose smells something different than other people's noses too.
Yeah, actually, I'm not getting a whole lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Normally these are like so fragrant where if you even get close to it, you smell it. It's
well,
strange.
I think maybe it's a morning or a night thing.
Could be.
Ooh, look at how deep this color is.
The strange thing is, when I saw photographs of that was supposed to be more of a deeper orange with a petal flare. But the really interesting thing is, when you're doing what we call art shade cattleyas, red, orange, yellow, depending on your cultural conditions, you'll bloom it completely differently. And I've actually been working on an email right now with somebody that bought a plant, and they bloomed it, and it was like a deep orange, where it's supposed to be a light orange. It's supposed to have yellow on the lip, and it doesn't.
Right.
And it's a cutting of the same plant that I'm blooming here that the colors correct the name. So
same thing goes with begonias and other things like that. So what kind of potting mix are you look at? It's like very barky.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you asked. That's a good question.
Okay, cool.
So this is actually sort of famous. Some people actually call it the off mix, which is crazy. But my granddad loved California.
Yeah.
And he would go out to Santa Barbara almost every year. But he found this in Northern California. It's actually, they're using it as mulch. It's fir bark.
Oh yeah, of course,
But we are actually the ones that developed growing orchids in fir bark.
Oh, interesting. So it has a little bit of perlite.
Yeah. So it's 1 part medium bark, secret formula.
Yeah.
Take notes. No, I'm joking.
A special kind of fir from a special kind of place on a special mountaintop.
Exactly, right. And only one side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Right? But it's 4 parts medium bark. Depending on the condition of the bark, sometimes it's smaller or larger. We'll add a bag of fine bark too.
Okay.
So 4 parts medium, 1 part fine, 1 part charcoal, 1 part sponge rock, and 1 part coconut husk.
Sponge rock meaning perlite?
Perlite, but it's a large perlite.
Oh, okay, like a
can see how
chunky
big it
perlite.
is.
It's chunky.
And that's typical. Regular perlite, you find a tiny piece just for comparison.
Yeah.
But hold on.
It's just too fine.
Yeah. And that's an average size. So normally it's a little bit bigger even in the mix.
And this doesn't hold water. Like perlite doesn't hold water, right?
It will a little bit, but it dries quickly.
It dries,
so it'll absorb it and then dry out.
It's not like a vermiculite, which kind of holds on to that kind of thing.
The mix, or the bark, I should say, when you're fertilizing, has a tendency to absorb nitrogen and hold it. Where you actually want to make it available to the plant. So some people actually will take and put like a small amount of like almost like Pro-Mix or something on top. And then the fertilizer is available to the plant that way. And a lot of people have been doing that with really good success, but that's fairly recent, say within the last 5 to 10 years that people actually started doing that.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
And that's only if you're doing fir bark.
Cool.
But we also use sphagnum moss. You'll see a kind of a mixture of the two. There are certain plants that really prefer sphagnum moss. We do it on all our seedlings, which we'll see in the back greenhouse.
Okay.
want to show you the Psychopsis here, which you've probably seen before, but they're super cool.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psychopsis are always super popular. Interesting thing about it too, but Psychopsis, like Cyclops, only one flower at a time, but you don't cut the stem on them, and they reflower over and over again on the same stem. So it's just super popular.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a tribal mask, doesn't it?
Yeah, right? I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing we have here, which is not in bloom right now, but we have vanilla.
Oh,
and most people
that's
don't
cool.
realize that it's actually an orchid.
Yeah.
So we actually grow it here, flowers April normally for us and into May, and we'll actually pollinate it and set pods on it, but they really have a trouble going all the way through to the full maturity where you can harvest them.
We were actually just at Rayne, and the staff there was one flower when we got there, just was like a few days ago.
No way.
And the staff had pollinated them, and they had a pretty good sized pod. Yeah.
Good luck.
So, yeah.
So they have to be on there for about 3 months.
Okay.
So we've set them, they'll set a lot of pods.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks to a month, they
Yeah.
fall off. And that's
a
typical
bummer.
even for orchids when you're
Yeah.
hybridizing. If the pod doesn't take, it'll
Okay.
set, look good, and then drop off.
Oh, that's a
So
bummer.
you need at least
So
3
it drops
months.
off green?
Yeah. So it basically aborts partway through. Maybe it's not compatible.
bulbies.
It actually is a bulbophyllum.
Yeah.
So you're good at this.
I
Oh my
don't.
gosh.
I'm really not.
solid
I'm
guess.
just not an orchid person. I'm going to turn into an orchid person after the end of this video.
Yeah, a couple of these
3,
aren't
2,
flowering
1.
yet. We probably have a few of these
Yeah.
too. This is the monkey face orchid. It's not open yet.
Oh
It's
yeah,
in bud.
those are fun.
And real easy to grow too, and they'll grow in almost any conditions.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's walk.
I mean, how do you
Yeah.
keep track of the taxonomy? Because they're always changing. I mean, even I
Okay.
went to this
Yeah.
orchid place in Costa Rica, and they were like at the front end of changing all the Costa Rican orchids into one genus to another.
So this is how we do it. We don't change anything.
You keep it.
yeah, so-
everything's a synonym to something, you know.
Right.
So.
We follow what we call Sanders abbreviations.
Oh, Sanders
So-
abbreviations. There
Yeah.
you go.
So
You're welcome.
His name is Sonder.
no way.
Yeah.
Cool. So we actually do that on purpose because
Yeah.
people will be like, "Oh no, it's this now." I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. You can change your tag." But
Right.
I feel it's funny. I don't think that a taxonomist should have the right to tell me what to call my plant. I'm pretty big on that. Like,
That's the
you
first
can
time
call
I've ever
it
heard
whatever
that.
you want. but
He's throwing off attitude.
Well, because
he's throwing
this is the thing.
off attitude.
What they do is that they'll start out and they'll change
last name
one
is Off,
species.
by the way.
Yeah, there you go. So it's like a building block. But if you change this one, it
Yeah.
changes it all down the line.
Got it.
And then you have to come up with all new names. So my philosophy in life is simplify things.
Yeah.
So if you can say make a hybrid between this plant and this plant, they should all just be called one thing. Now they do it with like lady slippers, the paths. It's a Paphiopedilum. You cross a path on a path, you get a path.
Yeah.
They're not interchangeable with any other species. So it's one of those things that there's no mix-ups that way. If we are in a Cattleya group, we should just call everything a Cattleya.
Right.
Makes everything easier.
Yep.
Then a Cattleya, Cattleya, Cattleya. Now we end up with Rancolellia, Cattleya, Gothranthe,
Yeah,
all these crazy names.
I find the orchid nomenclature is some of the most mind-bending
Yeah.
nomenclature
Yeah.
that I've ever
Yeah.
seen. And then I don't understand because, like, with a cultivar, you usually put like the little quotes, like one quote
Yep.
around, and it's straight up. It's not
Yeah.
italicized.
Yeah.
But then they have all this like other stuff in front of orchids, like whether they're like the orchid group. It's so. I mean, I start to glaze over after
I always say
think
it's
about
backwards to the way I would say it really should be. So we're building a family tree backwards. And I think it should be the way you're saying. Like with daylilies, if you make a new cross,
Yeah.
every cultivar is its own plant.
Exactly.
And then we know exactly what we're talking about. Well, so within orchids, there's been a lot of controversy with a couple plants. Lodogesia harrisoni, Streeter's Choice, it was called. It's a big long name, right? It was always known as that plant. Well, now they don't know where to put it. They think it's actually some kind of weird hybrid between two different species. So now they've overcomplicated this one plant. But if you put that in a mix with anything,
Yeah.
then everything down the road has changed. So it's been hybridized probably 4 to 5 generations
Yeah.
now with this one plant.
Yeah.
But they don't know what that one plant was. So now it's muddied the waters all the way down 5 generations.
Right,
Now,
right.
orchid generations are very, very slow. You know how long orchid generations?
No, not at all.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we have seedlings here. We can take a look at that in a minute. But we have, if you make a cross with Cattleyas, which is what we specialize in, you're talking 5 to 8 years generally from the time you make the cross to you see a flower.
Wow.
So, I mean, at say 80 years old, right? If it took 8 generations,
Yeah.
and you start it when you're 0,
Oh.
you make 10 generations of plants. That's
Oh my
it.
God, that's crazy.
So it's really a long, long process.
Yeah.
So when we make a cross, we always are trying to use the very highest quality plants we can. And you're also trying to hit a target that's 5 years out. So what are people going to want 5 years from now?
Now, is
Not right
Cattleya, you said 5 to 8 years, but is that the same for any other species
There,
within?
there are ones that are faster. So like your
Yeah.
Phalaenopsis that are mass produced,
Yeah.
one of the reasons they're mass produced is they can take from protocorm to flowering size in 18 months.
When we were in the Netherlands
Boring.
and we were looking at some of the Phalaenopsis
Oh, no.
growers out there,
So I can't talk bad about the Netherlands.
I mean, no. Well, they were saying
It's almost like
you
that
could.
from North Jersey.
But they,
No, I'm
they
just
but they were saying like to get out a cultivar of a plant, it takes about 10 years just to
okay,
pick a cultivar.
Okay.
Which is
So
which
slightly
is a long
different
time.
Yeah, slightly different model there. So
Yeah.
what they're doing is they're blooming out a lot of plants and then selecting for particular characteristics.
Exactly.
But what you have to do is you're talking about flowering something for the first time versus proving out the
Absolutely.
quality of
Yeah.
the plant growth
Yeah.
habit,
Yep. And then
the
getting
stem
a-
habit, the stem, like when it blooms, how the flowers are set on the stem. All those things may change 4 to 5 years in. So they actually have to flower it multiple times before
Yep.
they select it.
Yep.
So a little
exactly.
bit different.
Yeah. This
Talking
is
about
kind of cool.
Babies though.
Yeah. Oh, look at these. Are these like little
Yeah.
TC? Is this like, but it looks not as TC. Is it tissue culture?
This is seed culture.
Oh, seed culture.
Now there are some tissue culture. The other flash there are tissue culture. This is seed propagation. To get to this stage from time we make a seed pod to here is 2 years.
I'm going to put this a little less on the edge.
But yeah, so 2 years just to get to that stage. These are ready to
Wow.
come out. We'll show you in the back what they look like when they come out.
By the way, look at this. This is just so crazy, isn't it? There's something very Halloween-y about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So world record so far, 2.5-inch pot, 12-foot roots.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they don't want to do that, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does happen. So naturally, that's going looking for water. If this was grown in an area, say near the waterfall like in there, these roots will actually turn and go toward the most amount
I was
of
going
water.
to say, I thought like it's a waterfall. You think it would be growing this
It
way.
hasn't been there long enough.
Okay,
It would
okay.
do that. Yeah, it'll
That's
actually
pretty
reach for the water.
impressive. Do you think so? Do they think they hear? Is it the vibrations?
I don't know. I think they can sense the moisture. I think that's what it is.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
I think there's probably other parts that deal with the vibration. But
Yeah.
I think that the water part is actually
Yeah.
seeking out the moisture level.
Interesting.
Yeah, you want to walk through here? It's a
I
cool
do.
spot.
It kind of looks like from the 1970s. You know, like a really cool. Somebody said, let's just actually do a running waterfall and put like plants around and create a
Yeah.
little diorama.
Well, one of the things is that most people think orchids grow in the ground.
Yeah.
And it's only a very small percentage that actually grow in the ground.
Right.
Most grow up in a tree. So we use it as a teaching tool. We actually have orchids naturalized, like here, here, all over the place as an orchid. So we try to show people like, hey, this is how it sits, this is where the roots go, and then that helps them to figure out the watering. Because most people end up overwatering their orchids. It's one of the worst things you can do.
Well,
You
what's the
gotta show
best
them.
way? How do you water your orchids? Like, what's the best way? Do you go there with
We want you to water from the top,
Yeah.
not the bottom.
Okay,
So even though
interesting.
like you don't want to say always have water sitting on the leaf, you can wash the plant down with phalaenopsis if they have like a crown. You just want to make sure you don't have water sitting in the crown, because typically in nature they're actually going to grow sideways, not upright. But so no water in the crown, water from the top, water thoroughly when you water, but then don't water again until it needs water.
Okay.
With orchids, so actually taking nutrients through the underside of the leaf, which is kind of strange.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, most people think it's like through the root system, but
Yeah.
they actually take a lot in through the underside.
So
of
it's
the leaf.
almost like a tillandsia in a way.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Yeah, they're very
Oh,
compatible.
that's fascinating.
Well, yeah, thorough watering is really important.
Yeah.
So people always say, like, should I water until it, like, say, it runs out the bottom?
Yeah.
Well, if your plant's really dry, that's going to happen in 2 seconds. It may not be enough water. So you actually want to thoroughly saturate the plant when you water it.
Got it.
It's pretty amazing walking through. Most people can't walk forward through here.
I know he's professional at walking backwards, but he did bump into that one board.
But he's doing pretty good. Yeah, we set him up for that.
Yeah.
This is basically a growing area, more same kind of thing. All the stone you see here is ironstone. So this is actually a locally mined stone. In Estelle Manor, which is only about 20 to 30 minutes from here, they actually used to have like iron factories there, where they would make
Interesting.
cannonballs and things from
Wow.
actually melting down this kind of stone.
That's crazy.
So it's kinda cool that it's
Seems
like a
like a
local
really
thing.
laborious process
I know,
in
I
order to
can't
be able
imagine.
to do that.
I can't imagine.
Was this all their offcuts or whatever, or do you have to haul it in?
They call it like bog iron. So
Yeah.
they actually have a certain place here where they quarry this.
Huh.
And then they use it for landscaping for probably the last
Yeah.
100 years. It's been
And then you have
landscaping.
these big slabs of cork,
Right.
you know, which
so
is
something famous we used
Yeah.
to do in the flower show displays is cork trees.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that for the flower show this year. I'm going to rebuild it for the first time at the Civic Center. It's
Wow,
never been done
that's
at the Civic
cool.
Center.
I'm gonna miss the flower show this year, unfortunately, but I'll be in Thailand, so
That's just as good.
yeah,
Or
it's
better.
not bad, not bad. And now, are all these the same, or like, how do you categorize your
Some of it's a
plants?
mixed bag.
Okay.
We do all different things. There will be some that are in groups. There's going to be some that are plants that are individual. And it's all different.
Are you ever forcing blooms, or
A little bit.
Little bit.
Orchids always, I said they're like crock pot plants, not microwave plants. Everything's slow. So if you're going to make a change, you're taking months to make a change. You're not going to change something in a week or two.
Okay.
These are actually Maricone. It's kind of a cool plant. This is Triani, the president. It was actually awarded in 1949. Now, every plant of this up until recently, all of them had a virus, an orchid virus.
I see that says virus-free.
These were actually cloned from a virus plant and cleaned up in vitro. And now these are virus-free plants from a plant that was only virus before this.
I think that's going to be beyond how I could understand how it was cleaned up in vitro.
Me too.
Beyond my capacity.
All I know is we took something that before was something we would literally throw away and made a viable plant out of it.
Yeah. I know in some of the botanic gardens that I've been to, they have some that still have virus, and it's separated from all the ones that have no virus. But because it's just like a historic and cultural part, they don't want to get rid of that plant, you know?
Yeah, we do the same thing here. Now, interesting thing about orchids, as far as hybridizing goes, is that you can take a virus plant and you can make clean plants from it.
That's what you said with that one. That's great, crazy.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Oh.
So this is actually done through the new growth. So when that process is meristeming, so they're actually taking a new shoot of a plant. It would be about this size too, anywhere between 1 inch and 4 inches. And it's the very leaf tip here. That's would be it's like the apical bud, so it's the center part. And then you have this other tissue, which is the sheathing. That'll turn into this eventually. So this leaf tip is right here. That is actually tissue that they can actually multiply. So take it, put it in a special solution.
Because it's meristematic.
And they'll agitate it. And what it does is it just makes the cell multiply over and over again. Now, when they're doing it to try to clean it up, they actually are cutting down through the tissue to make sure you get to the center part that's virus-free.
So the center part is always virus-free because the virus doesn't go into it?
It just takes a while to catch up. So if I show you like a plant
so it's almost like a cancer cell that you're creating this, replicating really quickly.
So they used to do a thing called front bulbing. So when you have a shoot coming up like this, if you were to cut the front off, let that grow and cut the front off and do that a couple times, it would lessen the amount of virus in a plant. So that was kind of the idea.
So that's how the light bulb went off for some scientists.
Now they're going in and they're actually putting the plant in a viricide and cutting all the layers to get to that center bud. And then just using that tissue to replicate it over
What is even a viricide? Like, I thought you can't really kill a virus because it's like,
there's a couple
it's
different
not
things.
alive, supposedly, according to biology books.
All I know is it works.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go any deeper than that. I do know a few things, but I'm never sure of any of that. But that's something that's a really cool process. So then we're replicating the plant over and over again. And there's either seed propagation or meristem propagation are the two main things with orchids. There's also divisions, like making cuttings. Not all of them do that. Like your regular Phalaenopsis are monopodial plants, so just one growth, so you can't cut them. Most of the other orchids are sympodial, so they grow a bulb out to the side, and eventually you can make two cuttings out of it.
So you could just actually slice through the middle, and then you have two bulbs, like so it's like a little bulb. Is this some type of Cattleya?
It is. That's Eczema Blue Beauty.
It's really a beautiful color.
Kind of cool. That's Sea God. So this is from Raymond Burr's collection. It was Sea God Nurseries. He was an old actor. So that's actually out of his collection.
And that nursery is no longer around?
It was down in Florida.
Did you ever get end up taking people's plants of nurseries that have closed down over the years?
We do it a lot.
Yeah.
So far this year, we've acquired 3 collections this year.
That's why he's going to be building another greenhouse. Always running out.
It's tough.
I don't know. I'm putting words in your mouth. I don't know how many greenhouses you have and if you filled it to capacity.
Right. Covered with just shade cloth this time of the year. So we have, I think this is actually 70% on this greenhouse. It probably would be better for this type of plant at 50%. And then in the wintertime, we put just regular plastic over this. And that's it. So
look at this one with the black stems.
So I think that's actually from Thailand. That's Dendrobium hancockii.
It almost looks like bamboo, doesn't it?
A lot of the
little
Dendrobiums
bamboo
do.
quality. Yeah, and they get some really tall dendrobiums, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Sobrelius, like bamboo,
Yeah.
those get really tall too.
Yeah, the Sobrelius, I mean, this is often used as a landscaping plant out in Costa Rica. They'll use that.
The flowers are terrible though, like one day.
I know.
We always say that with orchids. So it's like
know.
people say, well, how long will it last? Because people get used to Phalaenopsis, like 3 months, and they have a Sobrellia, it lasts a day.
Yeah.
But just growing house here and pretty much there too. Same thing here. This would be a winter crop. So the Cymbidiums, they're from the Himalayas.
We got a Hoya,
Oh,
going
don't look
on.
at the Hoya. It's so embarrassing.
It's the only thing blooming.
Yeah, we always get stuck with like any kind of plant because that's the thing. If you're into like any kind of plant, you're into a lot of kinds of plants.
I
That's
know,
just how
it's
it goes.
true. It's like
Right.
it's you
Like
you
all
go
of us
down
outdoor
that.
garden. We have a few aroids. We have a few
know,
orchids.
I know.
It gets really carried away really
Well, I
quick.
found now that I've started outdoor gardening, I'm losing the names of the indoor plants. Like there's only so much space in this little noggin, you know.
Yeah, that's when people start talking to me about things other than orchids. I'm just like, I know
yeah, I
a
don't
little,
have the
but,
capacity.
You're on your own. More growing area outside.
This just goes to show you how epiphytic they are, right? They're just
So
sitting
these were
here.
handled within, say, the last week. So our process is we actually handle in this room. My uncle and I will make all the divisions. We handle the plants, put them in trays, and then we have people pot them in the next room. But sometimes they'll sit for a week or two. It doesn't hurt them at all. I'll show you some plants in the back if you'd like to see them that I got in April, and they're still bare root. And there's actually some good things about that too. So seedling propagation here, when we take them out of flask, that's what they look like, straight out of a flask.
All right, so they're definitely in sphagnum.
Yep.
They're moist.
Yep.
Do you have to give any kind of fungicide or anything once
So
they come out of that?
We do. You don't have to.
Yeah.
If we have any kind of contamination in the flask, then we always treat them. Our method is we take them out, we'll lay them out, we actually rinse the agar off, and then we'll spray them, let them sit overnight, sometimes for 2 days, and then pot them into the trays. It's actually better for the roots if they dry out a little bit before you pot them.
Can you compost the agar, or like what do you do with it? Just wash down the sink, or?
We do compost it.
Okay.
But yeah,
'Cause it's just like
it's just nutrients.
Nutrients,
Yep.
yeah.
So those were just pulled out, I think within the last couple weeks. These have been 6 to 8 months, and you can see now.
Oh yeah, look at the
roots.
nice roots. Now is that just like a piece of
Styrofoam peanut.
styrofoam
So we have
underneath?
2 methods. Either
Yeah.
we'll put a piece of styrofoam in the bottom, or we'll put just a wad of sphagnum at the top and leave the bottom open.
Yeah.
I actually prefer to leave it open. I don't like to use the peanuts, but some of our potters have their own methods, and there's like, it's what I have to do. So, but we'll be in there for 6 months to a year. Then they're like this. They're ready to come out. We go into a 2.5-inch pot. This has been in here for a year or so. Still styrofoam peanut in the
Yeah.
bottom, in sphagnum, and so each step takes about a year. So plug tray a year,
Unbelievable.
2.5-inch pot a year,
Yeah.
and then a 4-inch pot from here, and then we're at flowering size.
So just imagine if you're like getting something at this size, you know?
Yeah, the time that goes into it.
Like how old do you think something like this would be?
This is a clone, so it's not
Yeah.
too old.
Okay.
Those are probably about 10.
Right.
But we have plants here. The oldest one we have is from 1873.
Wow, that's crazy.
It would be an original plant from there too.
Now you have a lot in actually blooming in here.
So these are Phalaenopsis. Now, part of what we do in our shop is we're selling to everybody we can. Now, florists and garden centers love phales just because they last a long time. If you're doing a decoration, hotel lobby, whatever, Phalaenopsis are the best thing you can put in there. 'Cause
It's kind of
longevity.
amazing that you're still doing the hotel lobby thing,
Yep.
you know, even
Yep.
after all that time.
Yeah, a big part of our business is supplying houses here on the islands
Right.
with what we call them combinations, where we put multiple plants in a pot. And you can see behind you too, Sandra. That's what happens when you get carried away. That's my collection.
Oh boy, this is your private personal collection.
Yeah, it gets out of
like
hand
none of
really
this
quick.
is for sale.
Right.
He had to have a greenhouse all to himself. How selfish.
Pretty much all Cattleyas. I can't help it.
So you're really into the Cattleyas. I mean, that's what
Just
more of you
Cattleyas.
specialize in too.
Yeah. I tell my people I have one Phalaenopsis in
Yeah.
here, and that's the only one I allow, and then my wife has a couple, but pretty much all Cattleyas.
So she's into the business too? Or she's just into the plants?
She likes the flowers.
Okay.
And it's taken her a while to come around.
Got it.
Of course, a few cacti. I can't help myself.
Yeah,
Plants
you
are
know,
plants.
it's you start to branch out.
Well, one thing cool about phales too, I get real quick on that, is that as a commercial nursery, we're seeing new Phalaenopsis, I think about every other week we'll see a new flower.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So it used to be, so when I was growing up, if you had like a yellow Phalaenopsis, it was amazing. And
Unique.
it would be
Yeah.
yellow, and within, say, 2 weeks, it would almost turn white, the same flower. So the yellow was really hard to isolate that color. But my sister showed me just today, oh, it's actually this one. This is literally new. Like, we've never seen that one before.
Now, what is the number
crazy.
one selling? Is it white? Is it
White.
just white? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, cream. This is so light, like a buttery. like light color.
So
I
they've
haven't
actually
seen
been
that.
doing some hybridizing too. It's been interesting to cross large whites onto yellows and actually try to make green.
Yeah,
so
like a
this
chartreusey
is sort
color.
of that try.
Yeah.
because that's one color that really doesn't have a great green color yet. And if they are, they're going to be really small flowers. So to get up to that big flower size takes a long time. But even something like this, Ishing Sesame, where you get sort of concentric circles, that's really cool too. But yeah,
This one
it's
is like
amazing, the
super
varieties.
veiny, you know what I mean? It's very veiny looking.
One of my favorite ones is the one here. This is called big-lipped Phalaenopsis.
Oh, yeah.
So it's actually a mutation.
Ah, yeah.
These are like small round lips. This is typical.
But look at how
And that's the new
feathery
big
this
lip.
little is too, you know, that's cute.
Well, you lose that in a little because what it's doing is becoming peloric. So the lip is actually looking like a petal.
Ah, fascinating.
And that actually took a long time to develop. There was a plant in the 1980s called world-class Bigfoot. It was the first one to come out with a lip like that. And they found out that it was really fertile. So it sat around for probably over 20 years because it's really recently. So within the last maybe 5 years, you can get almost anything in a big lip, any color, shape, size in a big lip Phalaenopsis.
Congratulations, Eileen.
Yeah.
Hope she doesn't mind that we're fondling the lips of that plant.
Yeah, right. When you talk about like collecting, I was in California a couple weeks ago at a friend's nursery and they had these in flower. And when you look at the plant foliage here, and of course I know the background of these, so like I'm attracted to this kind of breeding. This flower, I'm going to say it's going to get an FCC. It's the highest award you can get on an orchid. That'll get an FCC one day.
Why is that? What is it about the flower? Is it the openness of it, or
so this is
color?
a sibling. We can kind of put them next to each other. See how the lip presents nicer?
Yeah.
That one's flatter.
Yes.
Petal width. See how that's round and flat?
Round,
This one's also cuppy.
This one has more,
I
I don't know if the spots are more distinguished on this one. I don't know if that's freckles.
Yep, and all those small things. I always say it's almost like an espresso maker. Like for $100, you can get yourself an espresso maker that'll make a decent cup.
Yeah.
And then every increment you go up from there, it costs more and it's a little bit better.
You have a lot of metaphors. He has a lot of metaphors. You could
I
tell
thought
he's
about it
been
for a long time.
marinating and thinking about these things over and over again for many decades.
Since you're into plants, you might like anthuriums. These are species anthuriums.
Yeah,
Isn't that
look
crazy?
at that.
And the real long leaves. This is the kind of stuff that you see like in an apartment, something to be ridiculously proud of. Old flower spike
Is
on
this
it.
like a pallidiflorum?
Bulbophyllum Phalaenopsis. Those are one of the bad-smelling bulbos.
Oh,
these.
the bulbos. Oh, yeah.
They're the ones that
the
smell
ones with
really
the funky purple, meaty
this
flowers.
one will smell good. That's Lobii.
Oh, look at this. See, there's the
hinge
one
lip.
with the hinge lip. Yeah.
The insect walks up the lip, it'll
Yeah.
actually push it up against the pollen cap.
Ah,
So
interesting.
you see the pollen be right
like
here under the pollen
catapults
cap.
them into it.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
force it up against it.
Oh,
And then when it
geez.
backs out, it pulls it out and make sure it lifts the pollen cap correctly.
Savage.
Yeah.
Savage.
We say with orchids, they look like they're mean, but they only want to be pollinated.
Look at that leaf.
If that's fragrant, and it should be, it'll
Yeah.
smell like Fruit Loops. Smell the other flower. It's a
Oh
little bit
my
older.
God, it smells exactly like Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
And you just didn't put that into my brain. I mean, that smells
Right.
exactly like Fruit Loops.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
This is kind of like the next step. So this is a couple years down the road from the babies you saw up there. We kind of move through production down this way and hopefully out the door. But we have some really big, pretty things in
What is
flower
this? Is this like airflow or what is?
Yeah, so it's supplemental heat.
Okay.
It also is air movement for all the time. It's one of the few greenhouses we actually have supplemental airflow in.
Yeah.
But it'll also blow heat in the wintertime. So
It's a giant greenhouse condom.
it's got holes all the way down the side. So we're
Okay,
in
okay,
trouble.
not
Yeah.
not good. Not good for the
Not a good
safety.
metaphor. It's not quite
The
flowering
metaphor
yet.
police. The metaphor
Right,
police
I
is
know.
out to get me.
You got to work on it a little bit. So the flowers you see coming up there, that's our tallest plant. And it comes from the pot way down there on the bench.
Yeah, okay, look at that.
So like
I could take him to prom.
this is like a regular specimen size of that size. You can
Yeah.
see that one's 4 feet taller. That's a great thing. We got that awarded a few years ago. And it's something we do. We show plants for awards all
Yeah.
the time. My father was a judge, just started in 1979. My sister's an orchid judge. But that's something we do. We grow plants just for showing. So we've got a bunch here in bud. This one, I'm hoping lasts. We have judging next week here at our shop. I'm hoping this lasts because that's an excellent flower. It's called
It's
Summer
almost like
Content.
that brownish red, you know. That
Yeah.
I feel like brown orchids would probably do well too. I don't know enough about it, but
What do you think
like
it smells like?
chocolate. I would say
It
chocolate.
smells really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh no, it smells nothing like chocolate.
It's cloves.
Yeah.
Think-
Well, I
think-
smell a little bit that, but
Yep.
I don't know, not cloves.
This-
It would be spicier if it was cloves. Give it a smell. I don't think.
I know what it smells like.
Yeah, but no, I don't pick cloves.
You know what I always say? It's funny. Fragrance is subjective.
It is. Honestly, my nose smells a lot of things that are different. Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that one I'm hoping to show for an award. And I want to show you one thing down here. It's kind of neat.
I definitely need like a smell book where you have a different so you could describe it better, because I'm always struggling with it. I'm like, oh, that's a little bit
RHS has a color chart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They need a smell chart for plants.
I agree. Yeah. So this plant is called Summerland Girl Orchid Glade. So this is the grandparent of the one I just showed you.
I could see the similarities.
It's literally like the grandma sitting here with the grandkids.
Yeah.
So, kind of cool.
Now, are you breeding orchids yourself, or do you not have enough time?
We do all of it.
Okay.
So each year we're making around 30 crosses, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you're going to grow hundreds of plants from each one of those crosses.
Right, and then you're going to have to select.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do it different sections. So like we showed you the babies over there, they'll go into the plug trays. When they hit 2.5-inch pots, I'll actually select a group out right then, and we'll keep, depending on the quality of the parentage, we'll keep anywhere from a few up to 20, up to 50 of each one, and then grow all those up to flowering size.
Wow.
But there's a market for them all along. Yeah.
Because if you get an unnamed cultivar or whatever, you just say it's a cross with this, and then
exactly. We'll show the parent plants, and people will buy just off of that.
Yeah.
One thing people a lot of times will pick up on is the leaf color. See how they look a little bit off? They look almost like a yellow color?
Yeah.
That's actually good. Really hard leaves. This is a little bit of heat damage, we said, from when it got really hot. But that's not sunburn, but you actually want this color. So a lot of times when people bring their plant in, they'll be like, oh, look how dark my plant is. It's so pretty. It's actually not getting enough light.
Oh, okay. So you want the sturdiness, you want the chlorophyll to go away, because it's...
You always want to push it as far as you can. So more light is always better, because you're going to get a stronger plant, which means more flowers, bigger flowers. If you have lower light, the plant's going to look pretty. It's going to be shiny.
But if you have something like this with the damage, would you tell people to just keep it because it's still living here, or would you?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to leave it on there as long as it's not active. If the heat damage is bad enough, that'll move. But if it moves really quickly. Like almost each day you'll see it change.
Yeah.
This happened about a month ago, and it's dry and hard, so it's not going to move from that point.
It's almost like a scab. Yeah. A little clivia snuck in there under the bench.
Yeah, and that should go back to my granddad. So it's one of the things
so
like you can't throw it out because it's been here so long.
Look at you.
That's old timey too. That's been here probably 50 years. We're gonna turn right here.
Oh, this one. Okay.
This guy here is actually a cousin to the one we saw down at the end.
And I could see the resemblance.
Watch your head and the step down too.
Okay, head and step.
So this is really, really bright sun conditions. Only about 30% shade. Lots of cymbidiums that like the really high light. There's a huge Callista glossum bloom down there.
Look at the white one, Sonder.
It's a little bit chewed up, so not too many close-ups of that one. Because that's one of the things that's funny, you deal with different bugs outside.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes moving out, it actually is better for the plants. But you can basically, the bay is right here, you can see Atlantic City, but you can feel the air movement.
Yeah.
This is constant all summer long. And that's
these
one of the
look all like those
it.
relatives that you were just showing me.
So all the way down at the end is finished flowering now, but that was actually the father plant or the grandfather.
Wait, this one, the dad was down here?
Yeah, so it's actually granddad.
Oh, granddad.
Well, it's the father of these. This is one generation.
He looks like the
granddad. The next
granddad.
generation.
He's feeling like the granddad right now. Wow.
Yeah, this is super high quality. So of this group, we have 15 plants. This cross was made over 30 years ago, and I think I've got
like this
12
one.
of
This
them
is like a little mini. It's like a little mini one.
The plant's a little stunted out.
Yeah.
There again, they said heat damage, and the plants got stunted.
Okay, so it's not like a compact version. It's just the stunted growth.
Yeah, just a small piece. Tree fern. People always wonder how an orchid grows, but you can see the roots and all, just all through the tree fern. This was a method that I tried out to see how long I can get out of like not having to repot. So that's been in there 12 years, I think, because it was little when I put it in there. Because that's the nice thing about tree fern is you're not going to overwater it. See, most people, if you take and think of orchid as a house plant, it's not. It has to be in a small pot. It wants to dry quickly. If you put too small a plant in a big pot, it's going to rot. But tree fern won't. So I started a little tiny plant in there. It's been in there for I think almost 15 years. Super good color on that guy.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, when we put them outside here in the light, you'll get better color. So
that goes back to like what the person was saying, hey, the color was off from what I bought, you know? Yeah.
Well, it'll change. So like this one is really dark, almost like purple. If you bloom this under regular conditions, it'll be pink. Like absolutely cotton candy pink.
Right.
Same plant.
Interesting.
I actually do a whole talk on just color changes.
Yeah, you should, and like even show, you know, growing it under full light and same plant growing it under like, you know, 30% shade.
Temperature and light, the combination of the two. That's kind of our whole place.
That's great. I mean, honestly, this is such a good tour. I mean, I appreciate it. I love the history that you shared with us, and obviously, like your passion is there. It's great. I really hope to see this continue forward with your family. And it sounds like there's enough of you to kind of continue forward.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, awesome.
Been fun.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Had a lot of fun.
If you enjoy these videos, hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons to help more people find our channel and grow their love for plants. And we've recently announced our latest group botanical tour to Japan for the fall of 2026. Now, for more information, check out the description below this video, or you could head over to homesteadbrooklyn.com. Just click the Learn tab and then Botanical Tours to find out more and reserve your spot. While you're there, also check out our suite of online houseplant courses, from Houseplant Basics to the Houseplant Masterclass. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.